Okay, this is part two of my talk. Basically, the idea is that I think sometimes we're so afraid of losing comforts that we do anything to protect the little comforts that we get, that think people give us. See, Huxley was right. You know, I remember watching this. If you look on YouTube, you'll find videos of Aldous Huxley, and he talks about all the things he wrote in his book Brave New World and other things. But I think one thing that he always talked about was that I think that this is my own interpretation of it, that we are afraid of losing comforts sometimes, and so we become so afraid that becomes a more powerful thing than violence. We might think the government will use violence to get people to comply with rules, but no, they use comforts. People give you comforting words, or they give you comforting things. They'll give you a little bit of money or a little bit of this or some privileges or something like that. And then they can threaten to take those things away. Not so much as they'll threaten it by saying, well, the enemy can take it away or somebody will take this from you. So you'll go along with any rule. You'll go along with any rule. You'll say yes to things because you think to yourself, this is what we must do to keep this nice little thing we got going. That's what we're going to do. We go along with stuff. Sometimes I see people who go along with things that they shouldn't go along with. Things that wind up having a lot of negative results and negative consequences. And you start getting these bad things. It winds up being where you're not really happy, but you are comfortable. I think that those two things can be. You can be comfortable and miserable at the same time. Being happy means taking some risk. It means going through some hardships sometimes, but to have a better situation. But you won't do those things to make things better if you get too comfortable. But there are people who will hold you down by giving you comforts all the time. I'm not saying comforts are bad. I'm not anti-comfort. But sometimes you have to be careful about that. Sometimes you have to learn to do without some things. Do without some little comforts that you have in order to make things better. It's just like if you're going to lose weight. I was looking at some article. I didn't read the whole thing, but it was just the very beginnings of what it was saying. That, losing weight is hard work. And that's why a lot of people don't do it. It's work. I got to lose weight, by the way. My doctor's telling me I need to lose a little bit of weight, and I'm going to do it. I have to lose a few pounds. It'll help me. But let me take off that coat because it's I got to lose the coat. Anyway, the thing is that we have to overcome this need to be comfortable. This absolute need to be comfortable. Because if we get too attached to comforts, we don't want to do anything. It's just like with drugs. People get on drugs and it becomes comfortable. Or you drink a lot and it becomes comfortable. It becomes your old friend. It becomes your familiar friend. You have to overcome these things. It's not to say that you should be a miserable person, because comfort isn't the same as happiness. It's not the same. And I don't think I can really fully explain that, but I think if you've had any times when you have really been happy for real, you know what it takes. There's some things I really don't need to explain. And that's all I got to say. I'll probably make a part 3 to this.